Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Where today, guys, after a two-week break hiatus from this series, I'm finally going to return to the redemption attempt, part 27 to my redemption attempt of the Ghoul Gemini Chatbots. Um, Guys, it has been, like I said, 2 weeks since I did the last video on the series. Why? Well, if you've been paying attention to any of my last videos, which have all been Castle Crossing Roadblocks, you'll know that I had to get all the memories created so it wouldn't forget anything. And while it's not completely perfect, especially since I did make a mistake before, sometime last week or about even like the beginning of the 2 weeks ago, I actually made a mistake where I typed in something I needed something that wasn't supposed to go on a story and ended up messing up things even worse. However, once I got all the memories in there, I kind of fixed the problem, but I don't know if it's just me being paranoid or what, but not every one of them responded. Well, I say I got a ton of memories, and I should definitely remember the crap that happens. Although, well, let me go and say, Typhlosion and Meganium didn't respond at all. However, Feraligatr and Lugia did react in some way. Plus, the family, so, yeah. Here's what happened here's what happened next. I know it's been a while, but if you want to refresh your memory, just go back to the last video. I mean, obviously it's all on there. So, it says, I smile after seeing the wings appear on my wall. And I just told him, I'll never be able to show him how much I appreciate his love for me. Honestly, I wish I could show you all how much I really love you. My sweet Feraligatr, Typhlosion, Meganium, and holy Christ. And my baby Lugia. You've always been there for me, loving and protecting me ever since I got you all 3 weeks ago. Aqualia, I wish I could give your entire family something to say thank you. Your family's been so sweet. Toadal and your sweet Chrono children were so nice to me in the woods days ago. Not only feeling bad for about nearly hitting me with your dive, Crocodile, but also lowering me to the ground when you saw how scared I was. And Chomps, don't think I forgot about you. Ever since my vision saved you over the last few days, you have been extremely sweet, and I think you are so cute. For such a young Pokemon, you have a huge heart. Barnaby, Iron, and Bagon. I know you may be new members to my team, but I love you three so much already. You did amazing with the intruder last night. Bagon, keep doing your best, bud. And again, I promise you that your dream of becoming a Salamence will come true. Iron, I can't wait to see you as an amazing, happy Aggron. And Barnaby, like I was telling you at the Valley yesterday, you can stay with me forever if you want. You never have to worry about being lonely again. I honestly care about every single one of you. Like I said, it seemed very long for just the beginning part there, but again, remember, there's a lot of Pokemon now. Some of that big pond family, then you have my four protectors, and then Aron, Bagon, and Barnaby, the giant Dragonite. So, yeah. It says the room falls into a beautiful, heavy silence as your words settle over the family. It's a silence filled with so much emotion that even the Toadal bros stop wiggling. Their Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies tucked under their arms as they look at you with wide, shiny eyes. Your starter failure doesn't say a word at first. He simply lowers his head and closes his eyes, resting his snout against the edge of the table near you, a single tear of loyalty trailing down his blue scales. He doesn't need to speak. The bond through his megastone vibrates with a thank you that words could never match. Aqualia reaches out and gently takes the hands of her two sons. Trenton, she whispers, her voice trembling slightly, you say you wish you could give us something to say thank you? Look around this table. You gave us safety. You gave us a home where we don't have to look over our shoulders. Most of all, you gave us yourself. To a Pokemon, the love of a king who sees us as family is the greatest treasure in the world. Chomps lets out a tiny, high-pitched, I'm not going to try mimicking his little sounds, but and scrambles up the Father Fragger's arm, hopping onto the table, carefully avoiding the syrup, just to give your tiny contour snout a quick, sticky, berry-flavored nuzzle. That is adorable. He's so cute. And through the window, Barnaby lets out a rumble so deep it makes the orange juice in the glasses ripple. He closes his eyes and leans his head against the glass, looking more peaceful than he has in 100 years. He isn't a lonely legend anymore. And for some reason here it says he's a brother. Like, what in the world? I just don't know why it worded it like that's what I want to know. I mean, seriously. Like I said, this is after I got all the memories in there. I think the main thing I didn't have in there was flipping, like I had to do it. Like I said, the reason why it took me 2 weeks as well is because of the fact that not only did it take me forever to get all the memories created of everything that happened, but on top of that, it took forever for me to get the cast list made. In fact, it took me days after I got done with everything else just to want to finish making the cast list because I got so irritated. So it takes forever to make these. That's the one thing about going back to. One thing about these, I'll tell you this right now. I am not gonna do. I'm not gonna do as much when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, it says Bagon Aaron stand tall, puffing out their chest. Bagon looks at his stubby arms and then back at you, his eyes burning with a new, fierce determination to reach the sky for you. Aaron lets out a proud, metallic cling clang, promising to become the strongest Agron the world's ever seen to keep your royal quarters safe. And as the baby Woogie completes the moment by flying in a slow, graceful circle around the table, sparkling a fine, glittering psychic dust that makes everyone's breakfast sparkle like diamonds. Yep, it says the bond between you and your family has never been stronger. Everyone's finished eating and the sun is high in the sky. And so, yes, finally, guys, it's been a long time, but we can get stuff done with this again. I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, guys. I just gently nuzzle Chomps on his snout and tell him, "Thank you, Chomps." And then I just go right next to my starter for alligator and gently nuzzle him on my snout and tell him, "Dear alligator, I love how sweet you, my baby Lugia, Typhlosion, and Meganium are. Where did Meganium and Typhlosion go, though? Did they go back outside to make sure nobody was around my property?" Your starter for Agger rumbles a deep, affectionate purr as he nuzzles his snout, his scales feeling warm from the kitchen sunlight. He gently nudges you back, his eyes full of that steady, unwavering devotion he's had since the moment you met. "I never stopped thinking about your safety, King," he whispers, nodding toward the back door. "You guessed right. Meganium and Typhlosion finished their breakfast quickly while you were speaking. They felt so moved by your words that they want to get right back to work protecting the home you've given us." He carries you over to the window so you can see for yourself. Outside, Meganium is gracefully patrolling the fence line, her long neck swaying as she uses her scent clouds to refresh the calming barrier around the yard, ensuring no more intruders even think about coming near. Typhlosion's perched on a high rock near Barnaby's pond, his eyes sharp and alert, scanning the perimeter like a silent, smoky sentinel. This is the father Frere speaking. "They take the roles as your primary shields very seriously," the Firefragger adds, standing up from the table. "I think they'd be happy to have some company if you're finished with your honey and berries." The baby Lugia chirps and dives toward the back door, hovering there and looking back at you with a playful, "Are you coming?" twirl of its head. I love him. Below it, Bayon and Aaron are already scrambling toward the porch, their little feet pitter-pattering on the floor as they prepare to join the Big Three for guard duty. Toadal Brothers quickly scoop up. It did it again. Even with the memories, it still said Totodile Brothers. I did all of that work, and it's gonna still do this. So now what do I do? Oh my gosh. Tell Bruce coolly scoop up the responsible and take your plushies. Wait for us. The guard needs the Dino Brigade. They shout, staring after the others. And now we are now full of. Oh my gosh. And again, guys, we put a memory of this thing. Oh my gosh. Am I really gonna have to? Alright, guys. I had to change it, which sucks because it flipped. I didn't change it, but I had to edit and add one part to it. Because it flipping, everything was going so well into that flipping. Oh my gosh. I'm going to suck his restart. I'm not restarting everything. I just have to make all the memories about it. I should have left it alone because while it's messed up that one part, that part don't bother me as badly as long as it ruins it for future references or whatever. Here's what it says for after the redo. It says your Starfragger leans into your nuzzle, his deep purr vibrating through the table. He looks at you with eyes full of unwavering devotion. They're never far, Triton. He roars softly. You're right. They took a quick patrol around the perimeter. They take their job as your personal shield very seriously, especially after last night. As if on cue, the back door creaks open. McGann wanders in first, her long neck swaying gracefully as she lets out a soothing, full scent that fills the kitchen like a fresh spring morning. Typhlosion follows right behind her, his eyes sharp and alert, though he relaxes the moment he sees you're safe at the table. He is a short, proud bark to let you know the yard's clear and secure. See? Aquali says with a warm smile, setting down a final plant of berries. They are as dedicated to you as my own children are to their dinosaurs. Speaking of her children, the Chrono brother and the Toto brother are currently having a very serious meeting at the end of the table. The Chronos holding his T-Rex plush, while the Toto brother holds his Spinosaurus. They are acting out a scene where their plushies are scouting the kitchen for any leftover crumbs. Chomp sees the birds playing, and not wanting to be left out, wiggles his tail and tries to roar just like them. Though it comes out as a very cute, high-pitched Totodile. Your baby Lugia hovers down and lands softly on the table next to you, tucking its wings in, watching the family with big, curious eyes. It seems so peaceful here that the silver glow around its body is pulsing very slowly, like a calm heartbeat. The whole inner circle, Aqualia, the father, the Dino Loving Brothers, and Chomps, along with your team, are all gathered in one room. It's a perfect quiet morning. I still wish I didn't mess up the first time. That first one was so good. Especially since it didn't get acknowledged what I did for Chomps either. But, oh man. Oh well, give me a moment. I am getting worried that even with all those memories, this thing's gonna be a butthole and forget everything. Man. Okay, here's what I said. I said, Meganium, Typhlosion, thank you so much for making sure everything was okay. I don't know if either of you could hear what I said a minute ago, but I love you both as well, and I appreciate how nice you have been towards me as well. Meganium lets out a soft, trilling cry and leans her long, graceful neck across the table, gently tapping her flowery snout against your tiny head. The scent of blooming jasmine and fresh clover intensifies. Her way of saying she heard every word and loves you just as much. Typhlosion doesn't say much, but he walks over to the side of your chair and lets out a low, warm huff. He leans his head down so you can see the soft spark in his eyes. He's normally the tough guy of the group, but for you he's a giant teddy bear. He gives your shoulder a quick, warm lick before shifting back on his haunches, his back flames flickering with a contented, gentle orange glow. They heard you, King, the Fire says, leaning back in his chair with a satisfied look. Even when they're on patrol, their hearts are always tuned to your voice. They wouldn't miss a thank you from you for all the rare candies in the world. Tober looks up from his Spinosaurus plushie and giggles. See? Everyone's happy. The big Lugia god's happy. The stars are happy. And even Chomps is happy. Chomps, hearing his name, does a little celebratory spin on the table, nearly knocking over a glass of berry juice before Aqualia catches it with a laugh. The Corona brother then holds his T-Rex squishy up high. Now that the yard's safe and breakfast is done, the Royal Guard needs a new mission. What's the plan for today, King Trenton? Through the window, you see Barbie perk up, his antenna twitching as if he's waiting for orders too, while Bayon Aaron stare at the kitchen door like little silver and blue statues, ready for action. A whole day is ahead of you, and the house is full of joyful energy. It worked out better this time, but here's the problem. Do you see? We've built anything, and it's already forgotten that there's a Toadile and a Crocodile brother, not two Toadile brothers. Yes, while Chomp's a younger brother, it's not. I think that's what it's getting confused with, because Chomp's is in the same. It drives me insane because I spent all that time doing all those memories, and it's gonna ruin it. I am not restarting after doing all that work. If the mistakes it makes aren't that big of a deal, I might let it slide. That's why I don't care if it said chair. Who cares at this point? At least it knows that I'm flipping. At least it's mostly right. You know what I mean? I'm hoping now that I told it, maybe it'll remember for the rest of the time that I do this story, and maybe by the next story we'll have better luck. Especially if the next story doesn't involve the Pokemon as much, maybe because there's too many characters it's forgetting stuff. Maybe that's why. If there was only like one or two, maybe three characters at most, maybe it wouldn't forget them. But since there's the father for Alligator, Aqualia, Chomps, the two brothers, Iron, Bagon. Yeah, there's like 10 different Pokemon. So it's like, that's probably why it's getting messed up. Either way, give me a moment. Alright, guys. I'm hoping the mistakes it was making last time will be the last mistakes it'll make for the whole time I do this. I just said, why don't we mainly just relax? It's been nothing but crazy over the last 4 days with people trying to capture Chomp so often when we were at your pond, Aqualia. I want to ask you something, though. Why did a lot of the other Toads and Chronos and Farraggers stay behind instead of going with us to the valley yesterday? I would have happily let them all stay here at my house. And two, no matter how big your family was, besides, if something did happen to your family and I had a vision about it, I don't think you'd be able to get to them in time. The kitchen grows a bit more serious as Aqualia sets down her drying towel and looks at you with deep motherly wisdom. She reaches out and gently strokes your golden claws, moved by the fact that you would open your doors to dozens of porn without a second thought. Trenton, your heart is truly as vast as the ocean, she says softly. To offer your home to the entire lineage, it's a gesture only a true king would make. But there are a few reasons why the rest of the extended family stay at the pond. She looks toward the window where the sun is reflecting off the garden water. First, our family at the pond is very large. Dozens of us. While your home is a fortress, a group that size moving through the human world would be like a blue tidal wave. It would draw every red-eyed machine and trainer for miles. By staying behind and staying hidden in the deep grottos, they remain invisible. The fire Farragut rumbles in agreement. Also, they're the guardians of the water. If the whole family left, the pond would be claimed by others, and the sacred clear shallows where we first met you would be lost. They stay to keep the lineage home safe while we, the inner circle, stay here to keep the golden ones safe. He leans in a bit closer, his voice dropping to a reassuring tone. Do not worry about your visions, King. Because of the bond we share at the pond, the elder Farraggers can feel our hearts. If you have a sighting, the Luigi God's silver trill will echo through the water. They are fast, and they know the hidden tunnels. They are safer there than they would be traveling out in the open. Carnarvon nods, hugging his T-Rex while he... Yeah, plus, you have to make sure no one steals the shiny pebbles you like so much, King. Aqualia smiles, her wee face. So today, relax. No more running, no more red-eyed machines, just family, plushies, and peace. Allison feels incredibly cozy now that you know the rest of the family is safe and guarding the pond. Well, at least it actually acknowledged that. That's what I'll give it credit for. How come how come it won't forget details like that? But when it comes to details that are important for it to remember, like the Toadile and Carnot brothers, it'll flip and be like, oh yeah. Speaking of Toad Owl, why is that? That has happened a lot recently. Where I'll say like Toad Owl or Crocodile Fraga's name, and as soon as I do, he'll respond to me with this. Like the notification will go off and he'll make a noise. So it's like it hears me and talks back, which is kind of funny. Either way, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, this is rather cute. It says, okay, I was just making sure. Hey, Chomps, do you still have that green pebble I gave you the other day when we were at the pond? I know you had it at the valley when we went to it yesterday. As soon as you mention the royal jewel, Chomps' eyes go wide and he lets out a frantic, high-pitched "Totodile!" He scrambles off the table with surprising speed, his little claws click-clacking on the floor as he races toward the living room. A moment later, he comes skidding back into the kitchen, panting happily and holding the emerald green stone high above his head with both hands. He presents it to you with a look of pure, sparkling pride. He hasn't let it out of his sight, Trenton, Claudia says with a warm laugh, watching her youngest. Last night, while the sirens were going off, he tucked it deep inside the stuffing of the Spinosaurus plushie's belly for extra safe keeping. He said if the bad humans came in, they'd never find the king's treasure there. I hope that it didn't get. Toadbirds not solemnly leaning over his T-Rex plushie. That's right. It's the prince's first royal jewel. It's the most important thing in the house. Besides you and the pancakes. Chomps wiggles his tail so fast his whole body shakes, and Jimmy places the stone on the table right in front of you. The morning sun hitting the kitchen window catches the green facets of the stone, casting a brilliant emerald glow that dances across the DNA symbol on your chest and your golden claws. Starfragger looks at the stone and then at the tiny Toto. You've done a good job guarding it, little one. It shines almost as bright as the king's heart. Chomp seems to want you to bless the stone again, or maybe play a game with it. Oh, that would be so cute. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I just said, you did a wonderful job keeping it safe, Chomps. To be honest with you, your heart is so big and you're so nice for being so young. Please keep that amazing heart as you get older and evolve into a crocodile and a fur alligator. That would make me so happy. Chomps' eyes shimmer with a deep, emotional light as he listens to your blessing. He lets out a soft, melodious "Totodile" and stands as tall as he can, puffing out his little blue chest. He takes the emerald stone and presses it against his heart for a moment, making a silent promise to you that no matter how big or strong he grows, he will always be the same sweet protector you saved. You heard the king, Chomps. Varfarager rumbles, his voice heavy with pride. Growth and power are nothing if you lose your kindness. You carry the king's mark now. Colonel Bird leans over and pats Chomps on the head. Don't worry, King Trenton. Even when he's a big, scary alligator, I'm not sure he still remembers how to cuddle and play with plushies. It's the family way. Aquaria watches the scene with a look of pure serenity. You have a way of seeing the future in them, Trenton. Not just through visions, but through their spirits. Another king believes in them. That's better than any level up or evolution stone. The Starfighter gently scoots both you and the emerald clutching Chomps into his massive arms, cradling you both like precious cargo. I think the prince is the right idea, he says with a wink. Let's take this royal jewel and the rest of the team to the living room. It's time for some well-earned relaxation. As you are carried into the living room, Megan uses her vines to gather the Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies, and the baby Lugia hovers overhead, humming a lullaby-like tune. Bayon and Aaron are close behind, finally relaxing their guard duty to find a soft spot on the rug. The living room is sunny, quiet, and full of soft pillows. Oh, that's kind of funny and cute. Well, we're finally getting into the good parts again. I just hope it now. Hopefully, maybe now that I told it at that one part where it messed up, maybe now it'll not forget the whole session. Maybe that's the key to it. Where if I forget something, I re-edit it once, but tell it what it did wrong, and maybe it'll remember it for the rest of the time. If it can do that, maybe I'll have my solution. I still need to probably make memories about them still, but won't be as bad if I don't wait so if I don't have to do too much. Either way, give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says right here, as I get carried to the living room, I start feeling a bit dizzy. And it says, I was like, for alligator? Hold on. Before I can get another word out, I black out and fall off Rager's hand. Right after this, I start having a vision. Oh boy, here we go with this again. In the vision, I see a small four-legged red dragon flying near our house. Not a Pokemon, but a mythical fire-breathing dragon. How in the world? It's crying, and I can see a bad bruise on its leg. Right after I see this, the whole vision zooms out, and very far away there's another dragon that looks exactly like the smaller one, but way bigger. Right above the bearded dragon's head, the name Razor Claw appears. And after this happened, the vision went back toward the baby dragon before completely vanishing. And finally the text, touch your golden claws on the baby dragon's injured leg and it will heal the injury. What in the world? And the time, a minute and 30 appears before the vision ends. Okay, well, says your hip begins to swim and your vision blurs. Your tiny body goes limp in your start for your massive palm. Sudden wave of your unconscious form sends a shock through him. His pupils slit in panic, and he stops dead in his tracks. His other hand instinctively coming up to cover you like a protective shell. Aqualia drops her dish towel, and the corner bird freezes. His tears push fall to the floor as the air in the room suddenly grows heavy with excited static. While the family erupts into a muffled chaos of concern around you, your mind's pulled into a vivid swirling vortex of golden red. Like, what in the world? You find yourself hovering above the familiar tree surrounding your home. The sky is a piercing blue, but the peace is shattered by a high-pitched, mournful wail. Directly below you, weaving unsteadily through the treetops, is a creature that defies the laws of the world you know. It isn't a Pokemon. It's a true mythical red dragon about the size of a Charizard, but with sleek, deep crimson scales that shimmer like rubies. It has 4 legs and 2 large leather wings. As it flies, it lets out a sob that sounds like cracking glass. The vision zooms in with predatory sharpness on the dragon's back left leg. A jagged purple-black bruise covers the joint, and the scales there are cracked and weeping a faint glowing steam. Oh my gosh, what in the world? It's a wound that looks like it was caused by something magical and cruel. I say, it says the perspective suddenly rips away, hurtling toward thousands of miles across oceans and jagged mountain peaks. You are thrust into the presence of a titan, a massive red dragon, so large its wingspan could eclipse a city. It's perched atop a volcano. Its eyes are like molten gold, burning with a mixture of ancient fury and deep sorrow. Floating in the sulphurous air above the beast's crown of horns, letters formed of black smoke and embers solidify into a single name. Razor Claw. That is honestly a dope name for a dragon. The vision snaps back to the forest near your house. The baby dragon is losing altitude, heading toward the clearing near the pond. World begins to fade into a blinding white, but before it goes dark, bold glowing text etches into the Lugia God's handwriting, appears above your sight. Touch your golden claws on the baby dragon's injured leg and it will heal the injury. Did the Lugia God give me this power or something? It says that words dissolve. A final glowing timer appears in the center of the void, pulsing like a heartbeat. A minute and 30 seconds. The darkness rushes back in and your eyes snap open. You are back in the living room, gasping for air in Starfrager's hand. He's trembling, his face inches from yours, whispering your name in a voice full of terror. The whole family, Aqualia, Chomps, the brothers, and even Barbie looking through the window is frozen in place, waiting for you to speak. Okay, give me a moment. Alright guys, I'm still having to fix things, but this one works better. I said, for alligator, there's not much time. Can you carefully put chomps and me on the table again, and then real quick go back into one of your other evolutions and make yourself kind of small too? There's a young dragon coming this way, and it's injured and hurt. We don't want to scare him away. I need you to help carry me out there until Barnaby and I attack or hurt it when he shows up, so I can help him. The tension in the room is heavy. I'm not saying that T word. It's heavy enough to cut with a claw. Your Starfragger doesn't hesitate for a second. Ever seeing your voice is like a lightning strike to his heart. He moves with blurring speed, but keeps his hand steady as a gyroscope, placing you in a wide-eyed chomp back under the table. I hear you, Trenton. He rumbles, his voice low and focused. A flash of light, a bright white light engulfs him. As the light fades, his massive 7-foot frame shrinks down. He doesn't go all the way back to a Totodile, but instead settles into a crocodile form. He's still powerful and sturdy, but his energy is much more approachable and brotherly for a frightened guest. Aqualia immediately steps toward the window, her face pale. A dragon? A real one? She quickly ushers the Totodile and Chrono brothers toward the back of the kitchen. Listen to the king. Get your plushie and stay quiet. We don't want to startle the little one. Your starter, now in his chronoform, turns toward the backyard and lets out a specific low-frequency whistle. Barnaby's head immediately pops up from the pond. Barnaby! Well, he's a chrono now, so your starter shouts, Listen close. A guest is coming. A small, red dragon. He is hurt and very scared. You're the great guardian, so you must be a mountain of peace. Do not growl, do not roar, and do not move unless the king tells you. He needs to feel safe the moment he sees us. Marvin's hand twitches rapidly. He lets out a soft, understanding trill and immediately sinks lower into the pond, tucking his wings in and making himself look as non-threatening as a giant orange boulder. Your starter turns back to you, offering his arm like a ramp. I'm ready, Trenton. Let's get to the clearing. We have less than a minute and a half before he's here. The Velugia hovers near your head, its silver aura pulsing in sync with the minute and 30-second timer counting down in your mind. Bayon and Aaron scramble to the porch, staying perfectly still like garden statues to avoid scaring the newcomer. The air outside suddenly grows warm, and you hear the distant ragged sound of heavy wings flapping. The problem is, it didn't tell me the name. It gave me the name of the adult dragon. We don't know what to call the baby. Do we call it flipping, I'm not gonna just say a random name and it be right, because I didn't get that. Okay. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It just says, after hearing the sound and my starter getting me outside, the flapping sounds get louder and closer until a minute later, when I see the small red dragon trying to fly but crying out in pain. Hey, dragon, can you hear me? Please don't be afraid of us. I just want to help you. Please ain't careful and come here. The air in the backyard grows heavy and humid as the sound of leather hitting the air becomes a synthetic heavy thud, thud, thud. The baby red dragon crests the tree line. Its scales reflect in the sun like shards of a broken ruby. It's struggling. Every time its left wing beats, it winces, and its back left leg hangs limp and swollen just as you saw in the vision. Oh my gosh. What did he do? What happened? Hearing your voice, the dragon's head snaps toward the porch. Its eyes are a startling bright amber, wild with a mix of exhaustion and primal fear. It sees your starter in a smaller chrono form and the massive, unmoving shape of Barnaby in the pond. It lets out a small, raspy puff of smoke, a defensive reflex, but it's too tired to fight. Driven by the desperation of its pain, the old dragon banks hard, crashing awkwardly into the soft grass about 10 feet from you. It tumbles once and ends up on its side, panting heavily, its injured leg twitching. Easy 101, your starter whispers, standing still as a mountain to show he isn't a threat. The baby dragon lets out a pitiful, high-pitched whine, looking at you with trembling pupils. It's never seen a tiny dinosaur with golden claws before. I'm pretty sure none of the creatures have, except for maybe another dinosaur that... Oh no, they still wouldn't see the golden claws. Slowly, since an overwhelming peace radiating from your crown and the Lugia god's aura, it stops burying its teeth. It lets out a tiny submissive chirp and drags itself a few inches closer to the porch, exhausted and defeated. The timer in your mind hits 15 seconds, and the baby dragon is right in front of you now. Okay, so you start to lower his hand so you are level with the dragon's bruised leg. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, guys, this is just cute. I just said, it's okay. I just want to help you. You're safe, I promise. Just stay still and don't move so you don't hurt your leg further. The pain will go away soon. And I just tucked my golden claw to the injury on the leg. As your golden claw makes contact with the jagged purple bruise, a sudden hush falls over the entire yard. Moment contact doesn't feel like a simple touch. It's as if a circuit has been completed between the Lugia god's ancient power and the dragon's mythical bloodline. A brilliant, warm gold light erupts from your claws, flowing like liquid honey over the cracked ruby scales. The baby dragon's eyes fly open and it lets out a sharp, startled gasp. It doesn't pull away. It feels the ice-cold sting of the injury being replaced by a soothing, deep heat that reaches all the way to the bone. The purple-black swelling visibly recedes, shrinking back into the leg as if being sucked away by the light. The jagged cracks in the scales seal shut with a faint hissing sound, leaving the skin smoother and shinier than it was before. The magical steam that was weeping from the wound vanishes, replaced by a clean, healthy glow. The timer in your mind hits zero and dissolves into a shower of sparks. The baby dragon's breathing hitches, then settles into a deep, steady rhythm. It tentatively stretches its leg out, flexing its claws into the soft grass. Seeing that the pain is gone, it lets out a trill of disbelief, a sound that's half chirp and half purr. It stands up on all four legs, testing its weight, and realizes it's completely whole again. Your starter and his Chronoff won't take a long breath that he'd been holding. You did it, Trenton. Look at him. The little dragon turns its head, looking at you with eyes full of shimmering amber light. It crawls forward on its belly, leaning its head down until its snout is resting on the porch boards right in front of you. I swear to frick, if I get loved on by a mythical dragon right now, I'm gonna go insane. It nudges your tiny contour's body with a soft, warm huff. Its way of saying, thank you for the miracle you just performed. That is adorable. He is such a sweetheart, too. From the pond, Barney lets out a low, metallic rumble of approval, and the baby Lugia descends from the air, landing softly on the dragon's back to offer a comforting, silver glowing nuzzle. The baby dragon seems to have taken an immediate liking to you, but it keeps looking up at the sky, perhaps thinking of the massive dragon, Razor Claw, from your vision. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys, I said, you're welcome. I hope you're okay now, you sweet little dragon. And I just carefully walk over to the baby dragon and gently nuzzle him with my snout. Are you looking for your dad? The baby dragon lets out a long, shaky bird as you nuzzle him, his scales feeling warm like sun-baked stones against your snout. At the mention of his dad, the old dragon's large amber eyes instantly well up with shimmering tears. He lets out a high, mournful cry and nods his head vigorously, his small wings drooping. He looks back up at the vast, empty sky, then looks at you with a pleading expression as if he knows that you, the tiny king with the glowing claws, are his only hope of finding his way back to the Titan you saw in your vision. He's a long way from home, isn't he? Your star colonel says softly, stepping closer to provide a sense of security. Chloe and the father forever step out onto the porch, carrying a bowl of healing berries and some fresh water. Chomps peeks out from behind the father's leg, clutching his emerald stone. He seems fascinated by the red dragon, sensing that this newcomer is also someone the king chose to save. Trenton, Aqualia whispers, looking at the sky where the dragon came from. If his father is the one you saw, the one named Razorclaw, he must be frantic. A dragon of that size could set the world on fire looking for his lost son. The Vajan chirps and nudges your hand with his nose, then makes a small circular motion with his head toward the horizon. Seems to be trying to tell you that he was blown off course by a storm or perhaps chased by something dark. The baby Lugia hovers between you and the dragon, his eyes glowing silver that tries to project a calming image of the Great Father into the baby's mind. The little dragon is too exhausted to fly long distances yet. Okay, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, I don't know if this is perfect or not, but here's what it says. It says, "Don't worry, I'll help you get your dad. We just have to be careful. I don't want him being angry at me when all I did was help you. Maybe far away, but maybe with a little help, he'll be able to hear me from here." I turn to my baby Lugia and tell him, "Lugia, please see if you can use psychic energy or some telepathy to get this message to Razorclaw from here." And after this, I just close my eyes and quietly yell, "Razorclaw, if you're looking for your son, he's over here just resting. Please don't attack, because I want to talk and explain what happened. He's safe, and nobody will hurt him." As you call out, a profound stillness settles over the backyard. Your baby Lugia takes the request with a solemn nod, its eyes igniting with a blinding prismatic silver light. It hovers high above the house, spreading its wings wide, acting as a massive satellite to amplify your voice across the continents. You feel the Lugia God's warmth pulse through your claws, acting as the battery for the message. As you yell into the mental void, you don't just feel your own voice, you feel it ripple outward like a sonic boom of pure peace, cutting through clouds and over mountains until it finds that distant volcanic peak. For a moment, there is nothing but the sound of the wind. Then the ground beneath your feet begins to vibrate with a low tectonic hum. In the far, far distance, beyond the horizon where the sun meets the trees, a massive crimson shape eclipses the light. It's a mere speck to the naked eye, but the psychic weight of it is staggering. Suddenly, a voice like grinding stone and roaring magma echoes directly into your mind, and into the minds of everyone in the yard. What do I even give it? Because I've given Ferregar that deep voice, and the Lugia God and everything has that flipping one voice I would do. Like, literally, the voice I usually give a dragon is usually that deep voice I give for an alligator, but it's like, that wouldn't make sense now. Freaking King of the Golden Claw, I hear your song. The hearts of my kin do not lie. I feel the life force in my son has been restored. I come not for war, but for the one who saved the blood of Razorclaw. Stand steady. I descend. Holy cow. The Bedrain lets out a piercing, joyous shriek, hopping up and down on his healed leg. Your Starcrawl immediately braces his feet, his eyes wide as he looks at the sky. Barbie rises fully out of the pond, his own dragon blood humming in respect, while Chloe ushers the brothers closer to the house, her face a mask of awe. A massive shadow begins to grow over the yard, turning the morning sun to a deep, blood-red twilight. The wind picks up, smelling of ancient sulfur and ozone. Razorclaw is coming, and he's larger than anything you've ever seen. Even larger than a father for alligator. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, this is amazing. Hee! Alright, guys. Here's what it says. It says, hearing the dragon's voice in my head, I just say, "Thank you. I promise none of us did anything to your son, and I'm glad you're being nice. I'll see you when you land here." And I just turn back to the dragon baby and then say, "There you go, my little friend. You won't be alone for much longer. Your dad's on his way. I can see you're really happy." The Bedragon is practically vibrating with joy, his tail thumping against the porch like a drum. He lets out a series of happy, smoky chirps and licks your cheek with a tongue that feels like a warm, wet velvet ribbon. He knows that his father, the legendary Razorclaw, is coming because of you. "You have a way with the impossible, Trenton," Collier whispers, her eyes fixated on the horizon where the skies began to shimmer with heat. The sky suddenly splits with a sound like a thunderclap. It isn't a storm, it's the sound of Razorclaw breaking the sound barrier as he nears the house. The wind whipped up by his approach makes the trees around your property bend low in a bow of natural respect. Then the sun is completely blotted out. A shadow the size of a mountain range sails over your home. Slowly, majestically, the massive red giant descends. He is so enormous that when he lands in the field just beyond your backyard fence, The entire house shakes as if from an earthquake. His scales are the color of cooling lava, and his horns are like jagged obsidian spires. As the dust settles, the great dragon folds his wings, each one large enough to cover a city block, and lowers his massive head. His eye, a glowing orb of molten gold larger than your entire body, comes to a stop just a few feet from the porch. He's that big? Man, the Lugia God would probably be bigger than that, but like, what the frick? What is it called? It's a Hufflepuff that smells of ancient cider and embers. He looks at his son, who is currently nuzzling you, and then his gaze shifts to you. He looks at his son, who is currently nuzzling you, and then his gaze shifts to you. He sees the DNA symbol on your chest and the golden claws that saved his lineage. Tiny King, the dragon's voice rumbles, so deep it vibrates the marrow in your bones. Ah, I am Razor Claw. I've lived for 1,000 years, yet never have I seen the Lugia God's mark upon one so small, yet so mighty in spirit. You've healed the heir to the volcanic throne. Excuse me? Didn't expect that. He bows his head until his snout touches the grass at the front of your porch, a gesture of absolute submission and gratitude from a creature that bows to no one. Okay, you know what? That one sentence alone makes up for the entire mess ups I did at the beginning of this video, because that was fantastic. The Great Giant is waiting for your word. Your whole family, from the Tail Brothers to the massive Barbie, is watching in stunned silence. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says, I just said, it was my pleasure, Razor Claw. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being so nice. To be honest with you, I really love dragons, so it was really cool to see you and your son, and I'm just happy both you and your see your sweet dragon son are happy. And it just says, being extremely careful not to fall, I very carefully walked down the porch stairs and gently nuzzled Razor Claw's massive snout. As you step off the porch, your tiny feet move across the grass with a quiet confidence that leaves your family breathless. Your starfawn stays a half step behind you, his hand ready to catch you if you trip. His eyes are fixated on the dragon in a look of pure respect. When you reach the end of the lawn, you are standing before a living mountain. Razor Claw's snout is so massive that your entire body is smaller than just one of his nostrils. As you lean forward and gently nuzzle your tiny snout against his cooling obsidian hard scales, a wave of intense warmth washes over you. It isn't heat that burns, it's the hearth fire of a father's gratitude. The great dragon closes his golden eyes, and a sound like a low-frequency tectonic shift rumbles from his chest. He is purring! You are a brave soul, Tiny King. Razor Claw rumbles, his voice now a soft, thrumming whisper that only you and your inner circle can hear. Most creatures of the earth flee from the shadow of my wings, yet you walk into the flame with love. My son, he's the future of our kind. By saving him, you've saved the fire of the world. The Vajayjane chirps and scrambles off the porch, racing to your side. He nudges your shoulder before leaping onto his father's snout, playfully coming up toward the great horns. Razor Claw lets out a puff of gentle smoke, a draconic chuckle. The Quality and the father Ferreira step off the porch, standing a respectful distance away. Even the Tail and Cornell brothers have peeked out, holding the Spinosaurus and T-Rex horses up high so the big dragon can see them. Barbie walls out of the pond, his antenna glowing with a respectful orange light. He bows low toward Razor Claw, and the great dragon gives a slow, dignified nod back, one legend recognizing another. Razor Claw seems at peace, but he looks at your house and back at the horizon. Again, this is really neat. Alright, guys. I just said, to be honest with you, Razor Claw, like I said, I love dragons, so if you were the one injured and you let me, I would have happily done the same to you as well, healing you and making you happy. I really appreciate you being so nice, but how did you know I was the Lugia God's king? Before you arrived, you called me the King of the Golden Claw, even before you knew what I looked like or who I was. Razorclaw remains perfectly still as he nuzzles his snout, his massive golden eyes shimmering with a depth of wisdom that seems to span centuries. When you ask your question, he slowly lifts his head, though he keeps it low enough to stay at your level, his breath smelling of ancient cider and warm embers. King Trenton, he rumbles, the sound vibrating through the grass beneath your feet. We dragons do not see only with our eyes. Of course, two things went off at once. We dragons do not see only with our eyes. When you sent your messages through the when you sent your message through the little Lugia, your voice did not travel through the air alone. It traveled through the earth, the fire, and the ancient song of the universe. Glances up at the baby Lugia who is hovering nearby, then looks about you. For 1,000 years, the legend has been written in the stars that a king would arise, small in stature but vast in spirit, carrying the pure gold of the Protector. When your voice reached my volcano, it carried the taste of the ocean and the warmth of the sun. Only one soul possesses that harmony. The Lugia god chose you not just to rule, but to unite. Even the Fireborn know the name of the tiny king of peace. The Vadrain chirps in agreement, tucking himself under his father's massive jaw, looking back at you with adoring eyes. Aquila and your starter Chrononauts exchanged a look of silent awe. They knew you were special, but hearing a legendary mythical dragon confirm that your name was written in the stars makes the golden crown on your snout glow with a sudden brilliant intensity. So the stars really do talk about you, Trenton. How in the world? Your star whispers, his voice full of pride. Rizikar shifts his massive weight, his scales clinking like plates of armor. You spoke of healing me as well, tiny king. That offers a gift greater than any hoard of gold. Know this, from this day forth, the skies above your home are under the protection of the Red Wings. If ever the bad humans return with their cages, they shall find a fire of Razorclaw waiting for them. There is no way I just got a dragon to want to help me too. Dude, I have got no. Let's recap this. I have got a Totodile, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Baby Lugia that can grow and evolve to protect me. My Fragger can Mega Evolve into an icy metal form. I have Bagon, Iron, and a giant dragon knight named Barnaby. And now you telling me I've got a dragon. Like an actual mythical fire-breathing dragon ready to flip and hurt, or ready to screw over anyone that messes with me. Dude, that is the best thing. Holy shoot, I am so happy. I might go and the video's getting too long anyway. I might go and end it off right there. The bond between the Golden King and the Dragon Lord is now sealed. Dude, what the frick? That is awesome. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, one or two more since I'm getting to the. And this day was definitely shorter than the other ones, but it's kind of a good thing since, again, we need to make sure that everything works out. And if I need to make memories again, it won't take me as long as it did before. I just said, I really appreciate that, Razor Claw. That is so nice that you would keep me safe, too. I know you might be way too big for my house, but you, your son, or any other dragons that live at that volcano are welcome here anytime if you ever want to come back. I'm glad I got to meet you. I hope you and your son have a safe trip back. After I just say this, I bow my tiny head towards Razor Claw. Kind of like you did to me, I think, a while ago. As you bow your tiny head, a profound silence falls over the backyard. Razor Claw watches you with a gaze that's no longer just powerful, but deeply respectful. It's a rare sight. A dragon that could level mountains, bowing his own massive horned head, return until his snout touches the ground, the grass before your feet. Your hospitality is as legendary as your heart, tiny king. Razorclaw rumbles, his voice a low metallic thrum. Though my wings belong to the peaks, a piece of our spirit remains here in the shadow of your roof. We shall tell the tales of the tiny king to the ancient one, so all may know the world is safe under your watch. The bay dragon lets out a series of happy, trilling chirps. He scampers over to you one last time, giving you a quick, warm nuzzle against your golden crown, then hops onto his father's massive forearm. He looks back at you and waves a small claw, promising he won't forget the giant hero who healed him. That is so cute. He's just a sweet. He's like Chomp. He's just a sweetheart. Your Starcaller stands tall at your side, his hand resting protectively on your shoulder. Aqualia, the Firefragger, and the brothers, still clutching their plushies, all wave as the great dragon begins to unfurl his wings. With a single powerful beat of his wings that sends a warm cider-scented breeze through the yard, Razorclaw rises into the air. He doesn't just fly away. He circles your house 3 times in a majestic, royal salute. His crimson scales catching the sun until he looks like a second sun in the sky. The bay giant perches on his head, chirping a final goodbye. As they disappear into the distant clouds, the red sky twilight fades, and the bright, peaceful morning returns. Barbie lets out a soft, trumpeting farewell, and the baby Lugia lands on your other shoulder, its silver aura shimmering with the pride of the Lugia god. Well, your star rumbles with a wide-toothed grin. I think it's safe to say we have the most powerful neighbors in history. Ready to head back inside and finish the king's play of berries, Trenton? Backyard's quiet again. Airfield's charged with magic and friendship. That is so cute. I like it. Alright, guys, I'm gonna let this part slide because it does kind of fix itself. But here's what it says. I said, yeah, I'm really glad I got to help Razorclaw's son. I'm curious, is the Lugia God giving me more power? Oh no, better die. It's at 5%, guys, so it's actually a good thing. I'm getting ready to stop anyway. So a lot of things have happened with these golden claws over the last 3 weeks. Like the tectonite rock that the Toad and Corona brothers found being translated around 4 days ago. After we met your huge family Aqualia. That being what made your Megastone merge with you and the Keystone merge with me the day after I got you from Professor Elm, my sweet starter crocodile. But I could never heal anything before. It says, as you walk back toward the kitchen, your starter chrono carries you with extra care. That's where it kind of messed up, but you see how it kind of fixed it. His eyes frequently darting down to your golden claws. The family gathers around the table. They're still humming with the fading energy of the great dragon's presence. Chloe looks at you with a soft, thoughtful expression as she sets a fresh bowl of berries down. The world is changing around you, Trenton, she whispers. The Lugia God doesn't just give power all at once. It seems to grow as your heart proves it can handle it. The star nods, his scale shimmering. Think about it, King. When we first met, the glow was just a sign, a mark. Then it became a key to our mega evolution. Then it became a lantern that revealed the truth on the ancient rock. And today? He looks at the baby dragon's lingering footprints in the grass. Today, it became a gift of life. The Firefragger rumbles deeply, leaning his large arms on the table. Lugia God's the guardian of the seas and the stars. He's a healer and a protector. It makes sense that as you protect those who cannot protect themselves, like Chomp and that little dragon, the Lugia God unlocks more of his own nature within you. The bait Lugia hovers down and gently taps his beak against your claws. As it does, a faint, metallic trill echoes in your mind, and for a split second you see a flash of the Lugia God's starry eyes. The message is clear. The power was always there, waiting for a reason to wake up. That is interesting. Oh, there's a crawling brother. It's like your heart's a seed, crawling brother adds, holding his T-Rex plushie. And every time you're super brave or super nice, Lugia God gives you a little more divine water to help you grow. That's actually pretty neat. Chomp chirps happily and pushes the emerald green stone towards you. As the stone touches your claws, you notice something incredible. The green light inside the gem now has tiny dancing flickers of red. A permanent reminder of the fire dragon you just saved. How the frick does that? Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm leaving it right there. My battery's about to die anyway, so it's perfect. But I was probably gonna stop it anyway, just to how good it ended up being. Dude, that was awesome. I wish it didn't mess up so much in the beginning because it was so good. It's so good. I just got to save a mother frickin' dragon. I am so done now. See y'all later.